All right. Greetings, YouTube. For those of you who might meet us after the fact, but this is Brendan Hill, half of the duo that is Wild Space Saga, back for another art live stream. That's a little relaxing time for us all, where I just yammer about stuff and do a little drawing right now. Like before, we're working on the pages for our next page of our little short web comic. For those of you who are interested, and I totally forgot to put down that web address. So what I will do is after the fact, go ahead and add that to our stuff. But if you want to go and see the rest of our art, it can be found on our DeviantArt page, which is wildspacesaga.deviantart.com. I repeat, wildspacesaga.deviantart.com. So we're working on right now is page 7 of our web comic. So you can see the preceding pages, on our DeviantArt, or even on our page on X, which again is Wild Space Saga. If you want to go and check that out. So we're going to go ahead and start at the panels. Just a warning to everyone: I haven't exactly been in the best of health lately, so if I have to beat it really early, please don't be upset. I'm going to be coming back to the chat area and checking to see if anybody's joined us. And maybe talk. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask them. Let me back this up a little for those who hadn't seen it. This is supposed to be Cammy, who is our resident tech tank aboard the Laughing Cat, which is our Shosha's ship. This is our Shosha from one of our prior pages. Actually, I think it's from this page, if memory serves. Yep, there we go. And so we're using these things in the background right there, just do some coloring. So what I'm going to go ahead and start up is kind of fixing the gaps and jagged edges that were left behind. I had done the line work before. I try to get that all done before because kind of a pain in the behind getting line work done first, and then hang on a bit, go back. Oh, and the weird noises here in the background is just my phone. Got to put up this on anti-aliasing. All right, there we go. Now it's good. Good to go. And just kind of dotting the i's and crossing the proverbial t's here. Let's see here. And what was that on my phone? Give me just a moment, guys. I'm just checking something out. That might have been important. That doesn't look like it. Oh wait, no, that background noise was from Discord. So no, it's not that important. Keep forgetting. And let me see. I might want to maybe keep a counter of how many times I say wrong layer, because I realized I did that quite a bit the last time we had our little art stream, and just because I kept on doing the wrong things here. Just trying to get all those solid black lines a little more solid, just so make sure that nothing looks like all sloppy and junk. I'm a little bit neurotic about that. Also, so that other colors don't end up bleeding out. Let me move this over. Happy that I can actually move that around. I didn't realize I could do that the last time, and that caused problems. All right, let me see here. A little more black here. So yeah, I'm just tidying up the line work before we get started on some coloring. Go back to our oops. Oh well, let me check this out right quick. Okay, so make sure I have this on the right page. This is okay. Good. No, it is. So if I have anybody joining in on us having to ask any questions, I'll be able to check that out. All right. Mm-hmm. Got a little 80s city pop playing in the background. From where I shall not say. Hopefully that's not going to kick me off for that. Shouldn't. It did the last time. So I tend to use Clip Studio Paint to do the line work because it has a stabilizer tool. Right now I'm using Paint.net. If Paint.net had a stabilizer, I probably would never need to use Clip Studio Paint. Even though it does work a lot better than Paint.net, but I'm more used to Paint.net. Oh, forgot one little bit. Oh wait, no, that's supposed to be there. Okay, it's a little crease there where the skin is. Okay, I do believe we got everything prepped and ready. So we're gonna go here. I'm gonna start with her skin. Yeah, and so Cammy is a tech tank similar to Pip. For those of you who have been keeping up with Terry and I during our live streams on Saturdays, which we will be having one, well, technically later today. If you've been keeping up with us, we talk about a lot of our characters. Pip is sort of a blabbermouth, the resident blabbermouth, but she's a good blabbermouth because you get a lot of information from her, a little too much information sometimes. Get a little bit closer here, got to do this. And tech tanks are very interesting characters in our universe. They are genetically engineered, just like all of the Second Imperium's militia. Let me turn my heater off. This room has very, very poor insulation. So I have a heater on, then I got to turn it off, and then it gets too cold, and I got to turn it on again to warm it up again. And it's a little pain in my behind, but it should be all right. But anyway, as I was saying, tech tanks are part of the Second Imperium militia, and they are basically the calculation centers for Imperial ships. They are they're living computers, sort of like Mentats in Dune, if you've ever read the books or watched that. But these little girls are hooked up permanently to the ship's computer systems. All right. Now to start making those extra layers. And we're going to see how many times I say wrong layer. And Cammy happens to be an interesting one of the lot. You see, a while back there was a poorly conceived military sortie into Thelian space by the Second Imperium. Poorly conceived because it's just a very bad idea to piss off the Thelians. The Thelians, for those of you who don't know, are the only other alien race that humanity has encountered in our universe, and they are more technologically advanced than humans. And yeah, so getting on their bad side is not a good idea. They were found out, and the entire fleet was completely wiped out. Let me fix this a little bit. Oof, it's going to look terrible if I don't. Ooh. All right, there we go. Oh, I have the wrong dang thing. There you go. Sorry, there's certain combinations of keys I have to press in order to do certain things. When I have to erase something, I got to hold down Alt, and then I have to hold down Control to get more than one bit of lasso work here done. So it's a bit of a little bit of a tricky business to do, but I'm used to it. So anyway, it was a bad idea for the Second Imperium to get into Thelian space, and the Thelians made sure they understood the severity of their error, leaving that ship badly damaged and most of the crew having abandoned ship. But because tanks are considered expendable, well, they were kind of left behind. So they managed to get out of Dodge. A few of them did. Even some of the tech tanks who survived the attack. Now, tech tanks live their entire lives inside of a pod and do all the calculations for the ship. All right, turn this. Darken this. Hang on a second, people. Let's see. I usually put it on 35. It's usually the ideal shading for me. Okay, that should work. Anyway, so many of the tech tanks escaped and left for the Alliance space to try to make lives for themselves. And even the tech tanks did that required them living outside of their pods. Now, what I'm describing to you is going to be discussed in the fourth book that Terry and I are currently working on. And because, well, tech tanks, having lived their entire lives inside these pods, kind of have special needs. Working with like support for their muscles, which are largely atrophied. Many of them have to wear special compression suits to be able to move around well enough in our environment. Just a moment. Darken this. All right. And I've got to fix this little thing right here. That managed to bleed over. There we go. Okay. So, as some tanks, well, actually, all the tech tanks got used to living life outside of their pods and manage in their own ways. And what happened? Hang on a second, folks. Did I click on that too quickly again? Just a moment. Okay, yeah, I must have clicked on it too quickly. Try this again. Okay, there we are. That should work. Well, that happened. All right. And we erase that little bit there. Okay. I thought I had done the second little level of darkness. And now it doesn't matter if that looks sloppy or not because I'm going to be using a blur effect to get all that cleared up. Give me just a bit. So yes, most tech tanks have been able to manage their lives quite well outside of their pods, but one happens to be a bit of a holdout, and that is Cammy here. She's shy, I guess would be the best way to put it, and so she refuses to come out of her pod and still lives her life hooked up to the mainframe of the Laughing Cat. After Arshosha, the captain, took her in. So she appears in holographic form, even though her actual body is alive and well inside the ship, just hooked up to the computer systems, and they have holo emitters all over the place. Not only that, she can switch to something called hard light, which is sort of like a combination of force fields and holograms. And a mixture of force fields and holograms to allow her to be able to interact with the outside environment better. You ever watch Red Dwarf? What's his face? Rimmer, who was one of the dead crew members of the ship, was just the ship's computer only had enough memory to revive one member as a hologram, and so he chose Rimmer for certain reasons that are really hilarious. But anyway. He has a hard light upgrade to where he can actually interact with environments like a living person. At first, in the original part of the series when it first started off, he wasn't able to interact with things all that well. Now, I didn't get the idea of her moving around as a hologram from Red Dwarf. It's just kind of a what you call it, an interesting coinky dink, having that kind of similarity going on, and so. Let's see here. Okay. Got to add a few more details here. And it's just something that just kind of came about and thought was really fun. All right. So now that we got all the basic shading done, we just go ahead and start using the blurs. I use Gaussian blur. I think that goes up to like 20 or 30, which will probably work the best. Oop, a little over 30, but that's okay. Okay. Now probably it needs to go up to 40 instead. There we go. All right, that's perfect. So as you can see, I didn't have to do everything perfectly. Once you use the blur effect, you don't see all the imperfections there. It all kind of looks like just natural shading on skin, at least a little bit. And besides, the way I do her later on, as you can see in this finished version of page 6, she's going to have some various effects to make her look like a hologram. I use the natural colors in case we have to do anything. Well, it brings out the natural way it's supposed to look. All right, so let's keep on going. Let's keep on keeping on here. Let's see. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to connect those lines. That way, it just keeps everything separate. I used the right layer this time. go ahead and do that. All right, so it's going to separate the colors of the hair. That's one interesting thing about tank biology is that their skin is always sort of a monochromatic gray to white, and their hair is always some combination of black and white and various patterns on their bodies. So we got Cammy here, has a little tuft here, and that's going to be white, and the rest of her hair is black, as you can see, like in this completed picture right there. All right, so moving on. First I have to flatten the image, get rid of the layers, and we move on here. And first I have to go ahead and start using the magic wand. Well, it means that I screwed up somewhere. Some line work is not fully connected, so I'm gonna have to go on a little search here. Let me see here. Just bear with me, people. Sometimes this can be a major pain trying to make sure I'm not seeing that I don't. Aha! Found it, I do believe. Oops. Oh. It was the wrong layer, but here's the thing. I forgot to move the layer down. There we go. So let's do this again. What in the world? Oh, please don't tell me this thing's acting stupid again. Hang on. Let me delete this because I'm thinking that it's. Sorry, guys. This thing is giving me some trouble. Yeah. All right. Well, this means that I'm going to have to shut down the program again and start it up again. But that's not a problem. Just give me a moment, guys. Let me save this. Save as paint.net. Yeah, the PDN file allowed me to keep layers. This doesn't have any layers, but I'm working on it. So I just keep that separate from everything else so that I'm working on it. So let me save this for just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and close these down. And I'm going to shut that off for a moment. And yeah, okay, so it's off. Let me go ahead and do this again. Start up paint.net. Okay, it's back on, but let me see if it's... Okay, I'm going to have to shut this off. Let me remove that, and I'm going to have to bring it back. So... Oh, hang on. I think I know what the problem is. Stop sharing that. All right. Let me try this again. I'm going to share the screen. Let me see. Window. Here we are. Right. Add that. Okay, and we're back there. All right. Sorry about the screw up, people, but that's life. Let me see. Open recent. Do that first. And then bring back everything else. After I bring everything back, I'm going to have to go to the restroom right quick, guys. Took some medication. Caused me to have to go a lot. So, see me bow out every now and then. And then I'm not going to be gone long, but I just take medicine. That happens. Let me see here. Oh, yeah. How it hand slipped. Open. Nope, not that. I believe this. Okay, that should work. All right, so we're going back here again. God, what a pain. That stupid stuff again. Then I gotta go and put everything back the way it was. Fortunately, it wasn't a whole lot of stuff that was changed. So go ahead and fix this, and then back it up. And I'm going to go ahead and use my paint dropper and get the basic color of her hair, which is a really, really, really dark gray, dark enough to suggest black. One rule of thumb is not is to not. Oh, hang on. Let me back to the right layer. All right, we got it working. We're cooking with gas. Is to not use just solid black on anything unless you really, really, really intend to. Because well, with this particular program, Paint.net, it uses black as sort of a barrier, and so if you do it wrong, it ends up looking kind of dumb, and it causes problems where you can't use things like lasso, not lasso, excuse me, magic wand and whatnot, because everything becomes black. Everything's just considered a barrier, and it just ends up darkening everything. And it just does the same thing for just really dark colors. So that's one of the drawbacks to using this program, unfortunately. All right, there we go. All right, so leave it at that for just a sec, guys, and I will be right back. Give me just a moment. And we are back. Let's see here. It's sad that no one seems to want to be joining us. Maybe somebody will at a later point. I'm hoping that, but if not, hey, there's plenty of room for people to get to check it out at a later point. See what they've been. Whoops. If you hear any funny noises like clang or something like that, it's because I'll accidentally hit this stupid thing. It's right in front of my face, and even though I should know that it's right there, my hand is not as smart as I am. So anyway, but I'm just saying is that it'll still be fun to have people checking it out at a later point. So can't cry over that. So and I mean I could, but what use is it going to be? Anyway, so all I can do is just do a great job for all y'all who may watch at a later point. It really would be nice though for those of y'all got this far in the live stream. They see me working. I do have a question. Terry and I are having trouble getting a lot of people interested in these live streams. Now, I know art streams are gonna only cater to a certain niche. From those who just like watching this kind of thing, to those looking for something to allow them to fall asleep. I have no Bob Ross voice, unfortunately. I could talk about the happy little trees, and that might actually help. But I don't want our stuff to be a cure for insomnia generally. So, if you know anything that might be able to help us get, more. What was it? Oh, what? Change the black and white. I accidentally pressed the wrong thing. Yeah. Anyway, that might up our viewership. Hey, kindly let us know because we're really open to suggestions. All right, let me see here. Excellent. Yeah. So if you have any ideas, hey, don't be afraid to tell us what you think we ought to do. Oop, I forgot to do some shading there by little what you call sweat bubble, sweat drop. Anyway, all right. So we're gonna go ahead and do some more lighting here. If nobody shows up, but I'll probably just cut it off after maybe about an hour because it's nice to hear all my dulcet tones. But to borrow a quote from Rod Stewart, there ain't no point in talking when there's nobody listening. You know. But let me see what we got here. For some reason I was being alerted on my on this screen. I had no idea what's going on, but oh well. Well, we'll try it again in another. We'll see if that happens at another point. Anyway, we'll go ahead and do this. So I can do a little shadow there. Right this. 15. Okay. There we go. And now start adding more highlights in the middle. All right. Fix that without going too far in there. All right. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and do some brightening here. Alright, so all that's done. Now I'll go ahead and do some blurring. Gaussian blur. Oh, forgot that. Didn't carry over from the last time I had it on. There we go, 35. There you go. That should be a good enough blur. Though, really, instance. Okay, no, we had a double light line there. All right, good. So now we go ahead and just do the puff right here, and that's going to be just one solid color. Flatten that, and now we go for here. Add a second layer, move that down, and then there we are, and we just darken the middle here. Yeah, this one's just really simple to do right there. Okay. All right, now we just do a nice little blur. Perfect. So we didn't need to change the blur dimensions at all. Everything's perfect. So we got the hair done, and so now we're just going to go ahead and do the shirt. So weird, almost lime green there. First, let's go ahead and flatten. And we do the same things we've done before. And we just do some shading there. Yeah, it's going to be a bit much. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't really need to do a whole lot with her shirt. So just going to darken that. Just do the standard here. And then we just go ahead and do a little blur. Okay, yeah, let's do it to 40. There you go, and that blur is just fine. And so we move on to her pants. I'll do the bracelets in just a moment. I want to try to get all the main clothes first. We need to check up here again. All right. And let's see, and flatten that. All right. Oh, no. Yeah, now that's the wrong layer because I forgot to add the layer. There you go. I was screwing up on layers like right and left the last time. Not so much today, thankfully. Let me see. I think that should work with the. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Let me just go ahead and do some blurs here. Yeah, it should work. Don't need everything to be absolutely perfect with her, but all right. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Let me see. I think I chose this gray for her. I think it was actually a lighter gray, something like that. Yeah. Actually, no, it was a darker gray because we don't want it to be the same gray as her skin. Now, as for little, whoops, nope, wrong layer. That's another one, people, if you're keeping up. All right. Oh, wrong layer again. These you can just do a solid color there. It's not really going to matter much. And then we'll just go ahead and do the feet. And we'll flatten this one. Yeah, my recommendation is always kind of use a second layer to do your coloring in, because that way it's not gonna bleed off onto other things. On best of circumstances. There's also another way that I do the coloring, and that's I'll use black on a separate, more translucent layer. And the problem is you got to contend with doing the with the stuff bleeding off into other spaces you don't want it to be in. So that's the only problem. Right here. Let's see. Turn that down to 15 again. All right, that should work. And that was all about. Wait just a moment, guys. I don't know what that was like. Sorry about that. Somebody was talking to me. Give me just one moment. I'm responding to somebody on Discord. They seem to be interested in my channel. So, all right. So let me see. Going back to there we go. All right. So let me see here. Did they join? Yes, they did. Oh, hello there, Skylord the First. All right. Glad to see you make it. So yeah, this is a nice little art stream that we do. Just a chilled out art stream every now and again. I tend to be a midnight owl because of my job, and so I take that time to do work on characters and whatnot for Wild Space Saga. Tomorrow we're going to be doing our big live stream, me and my co-author. Though I think he's going to be kind of late coming in that day, but we have somebody special supposed to be joining us. So we'll see. Let me see. I was the one who was being a goober. Just finished streaming. It's okay, man. But you can be a goober. You can be a little bit of a goober here. We kind of let our hair down a bit. What I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be switching back and forth from this screen, from my StreamYard to my to my artwork, and so just let me know. If you have any questions, ask them when we're switching back and forth. To try to talk. So I'm going to be concentrating on this because, yeah, unfortunately, that's one drawback of StreamYard. When you're doing one thing, you can use StreamYard to stream, but I got to go back to StreamYard to check my chats. So let me see here. Where was I working on this? Oh yeah, I think we just finished the feet, and I'm just gonna go ahead and flatten that. Now we just go ahead and do the bracelets on the hand. That's not going to take but a second. Let me see. Can you just? And that one I kind of had an accent on that original because I forgot to blur the lines where I had the reflection. Since it was all going to be turned into sort of shades of blue, didn't bother me. All right, so moving on. I'm going to go ahead and with this, take that away and switch layers, paint bucket, usual thing, and then add some light line here, a little thing, and change that to something really bright. No way. All right. And then we go ahead and use Gaussian blur. There you go. And now it just looks like a little reflection line. And go ahead and flatten. And let me see here. Oh, hang on. All right, of course, I know it's hard to focus on two things at once. I literally have to use my phone as a second monitor. I didn't think about that. I could put StreamYard on my phone and watching the thing while I'm doing this. But where I got right now, I think the setup I have is pretty good too. So let me see here. Keep going back and forth here. Let me see. Do I have anything else? Oh, that's right. I need to add. I need to mess with this a little bit. The little water drop. No big deal. Let me see. Let me lighten this up a bit. All right. Add a layer. And add a little darker. That one doesn't need as stark blur, so like that. Okay, and it should work. All right, so now all I got to do is just switch everything to blue to cyanotype. And what program am I using for this? Okay, I use it's called Paint.net. It's just more like a dressed down version of Photoshop, but more glorified version, just Microsoft Paint. And it has, you can pull a whole lot more tricks with it than Microsoft Paint. It's just not as sophisticated as Photoshop, but it works perfectly well for what I need it for. All right, so in this particular case, what I am going to do, I'm going to take away the background. Let me flatten that. Okay. Oh, forgot the inside of her mouth. Let me do that right quick. Let's see here. Oh, it's another thing I forgot to do there. Let me fix that. This one I don't have to worry about choosing another layer. And let me see. There we go. Because all that is going to be in shades of blue in just a moment. Okay, now that I got that done, go ahead and do all this and get all the areas of white. Get rid of all the white. Out of context, that would almost sound racist. Okay, and so now let me go ahead and save this and switch to cyanotype. All right, so now we have it all prepared for what I got to do with the frame later. So now that we've done that, I'm going to switch over here to our Shosha and start on her. Let me see here. Right after, well, I can still hold it. Sorry, I was saying earlier on, I take medicine that makes me have to go to the bathroom on it. So if I have to suddenly stop and bow out for just a moment, come right back, please excuse me. It's just my medicine kicking in. I'm having some health issues, and so trying to change things, but I think I made a stupid mistake today because a certain thing is acting up, and it's very annoying and very uncomfortable, and I was kind of debating in my little noggin whether or not I should go to the emergency room, but this has happened before and nothing's happened because of it, and it's something I think I just got to ride out. Don't worry, I'll be all right. This is something that's been going on for many, many years, so I don't want people to worry about me. Let me see here. Anyway, so we got Captain Arshosha here. I mean, she's in a lot of the different pages, since she is, of course, one of the main characters outside of the 2 new recruits that she finds. So what I'm doing right here, as I've explained before, is I am making sure I got like all the line work really neat and connected with each other, because the way this program works, it needs solid black lines in order to understand where to stop and where to go. If it's not all connected, it bleeds out into neighboring areas. You don't want to do that, and that's kind of a major pain. And let me see here. But it's already kind of major pain to do all this. Oh, didn't realize that was connecting. I need to make it straighter. Only problem I have with this particular program is that it does not have a stabilizer function when it comes to making your lines. So you have a very unsteady hand like me, it's just going to come out really funky looking. Let's see here. All right. It's ones from your comic. Yep. That's what I said. I'm working on the next page of my comic. Let's see here. So yeah, this is kind of boring right here, I know, but just doing a tiny bit of cleanup work. Should be fine. I'm not seeing anything else not connected. Just some stuff I need to maybe just fix a little bit here. Let's see. All right. This is a really good music mix. I play a lot of them, like on my Spotify when I'm at work, and I have a whole mix of Japanese city pop. Oh, found one. Sometimes those little gaps are really small, so you gotta be careful there, because even small, tiny gaps, if it's even a little bitty one, the color will bleed through that. Like, I'll tell you this, with the eyes, I already know the brown is going to bleed through there because it's open, but that's okay. So there's a fix I have for that. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. Let's see here. All right. All right, I think we got everything. Stabilizer. It's a tool that is that a lot of art programs have when it comes to doing your line work. It keeps your pen or pencil flowing properly. Like, okay, if I want to make a line like this, it keeps it from kind of getting really shaky, especially if you have an unsteady hand. It steadies the line work for you. The only way I'd be able to show you is if I opened up what's the Clip Studio Paint. That's the other program that I use, and so it would make the lines smooth and straight instead of shaky and jagged. Let me see. I hope you don't get DMCA. You got to post the PlayStation that playlist on the Discord. Oh, it's actually just music from another YouTube channel. The guy's just playing music. It's just a music mix that he is playing at a it looks like a restaurant. So I was just playing the background. I guess, like I said, I've used other programs and they have a similar tool, and it's always usually just called stabilizer. You can stabilize it from 0% to 100%. And the only problem is, like, if you want to make like really quick lines, it's not going to follow the speed of your strokes. It's just going to kind of keep things going at a steady pace and make in order to make them really smooth. And sometimes you do it too strong and it overly smooths things, and so you kind of gotta finagle with it sometimes. It's this little thing right here. All right, I think that's all the line work. So now to the fun part. All right, so we're gonna be doing. Oh no, I missed one. Hang tight. Let's see what I missed too. Right there. Oh, come on, please. Oh, that's right. I had to shut all that off. Oh, and I got to switch it back to black. There we go. And just notice I didn't do that, and I noticed that. Didn't clean that up a bit. Okay, that should work. All right, now let me add extra layer and go back to doing what I was doing. Okay, that should work. I hope. Fortunately, with our show, you don't have to do a huge amount of. Oh my god! I just realized something. I forgot to do her tail. But you know what? That's not a problem. Let me fix this. I'm going to have to change the positioning of this layer. So that's something a little more fun. Nope, I didn't want to add a new layer. I wanted to move this layer. Let me see. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to use a blue and add this. Give me a second. Yeah, I'm going to have to do it that way. Come on. Well, that's not going to work. I have to do a little bit more. There we go. Okay. So this just gives me a guideline on how to do it. All that's going to be erased once I get rid of that layer. Okay, so go up on top of this and go back down here. All right. And all right. See how that just doesn't look like it's coming out all that straight and smooth? That's why you have the stabilizer tool on other art programs. I mean, what I could easily do with this would just transfer the art piece to my what's that program I just said? Clip Studio Paint. But this can be done like right here as well. Fortunately, the tail does not have to be absolutely smooth because it is furry. Okay, and now all I need to do is just get rid of this layer right here. Bitty boom. And we got what we need. Got what I need. And I just drew the tail. So, all right. Oh, it's already over. Hang on a second. Oh, they got another one. Good. Let's start that up. Hang on tight.
You deserve flowers.
No, no commercials. No you. Okay. Let's see here. All right. First time I'm hearing about this. I'm a bit of an artist, peak 13-year-old, but I'm doing some retracing and learning extra details. The tail's supposed to look messy. So yeah, that's exactly what I said. Okay, so that should be fine. Let me and hey, don't worry, you're 13. Hey, that's cool. You got a lot of time to perfect your craft. This is, any kind of a writer does. And as you can see, the tail turned out just fine. Probably should have made it a little bit longer, but it's not going to hurt anything. So, all right. So now we got all the line work done. Now it's time to go ahead and start. Let me flatten this right quick. Brings all the layers together, as you can see. And do you have any experience using art programs? I think you did say you use art programs. Which one do you use? Don't mind my asking. Okay. So highlight all that, and we'll go ahead and delete that color. Make a second layer. And because I have this out, it's a frame from the old from the last page. I'm using it as color referencing. Okay, so yeah, so what program you use. Let's see. You draw like a 13-year-old. Okay, well, dude, it's fine. Like I said, you keep practicing, you get better at it. I mean, I wasn't drawing like this all my life. I really need to one day just post some of my old drawings. Oh, forgot one part. And you'd see a difference my time in college made. And it wasn't because I took art classes in college. It was because I had a friend, unfortunately now former friend, who taught me most of what I know with my artwork. And because I used to draw really short and stumpy looking characters. That's how I correct the whole thing with the eyes. That's what I was telling you earlier on that I say, well, the eyes are kind of funky, but that's not going to be a problem. Matter of fact, let me undo this because I need to fix one little thing here. Give me a second. All right, that's better. Now I can go ahead and do that. Okay. Let out a little too much there. But yeah, she taught me a lot of what I now know concerning body proportions and whatnot, because before her, a lot of my artwork looked really short, really stumpy, had proportions that were way off. She really helped me with that, It's unfortunate thing that we're not that she, it wasn't me. I mean, she just kind of, whoops. There we go. She just kind of left one day. So I'm just gonna do this. Just put that on the nose because that nose I never have to worry about. There we go. Let's just do that. Okay. Give me one moment, guys. I will be back in just a second. Let's see if you asked another question. Used MS Paint once. Then your friends introduced you to Kitra. Fell in love with it. Yeah, I still have a lot of my old drawings, so I'll talk a little bit more about it when I'm back. Don't worry, this won't take long at all. Okay. And I am back. Oh, we got another person here. I wonder who that is. Did they see anything? No, they did not. Well, if you're here watching me, feel free to ask any kind of questions or make any kind of comments or snide remarks. We talk about my artwork here. Talk about Wild Space Saga if you want to. It's me and my me and my co-author. It's a little story that we do. I don't know where you're coming from. If you're coming from our Discord where I posted, or X, or from DeviantArt, just let me know. Anyway, let's see here. You know about the former friend? Recently thought it was on him. That's all I say. But at least it wasn't messy. No, it wasn't messy. I really don't know. Oh yeah, no problem, Skylord. Yap away. I'm totally happy to answer questions. Totally happy. I'm just see two people on, and I'm just wondering, who the other person is. So just wanted them to speak up and say hi if they can. And let me see here. So I'm going to go ahead and get back to work on the drawing. And but as I said, yap away. And no, the that whole deal wasn't messy. She just stopped talking to me and unfriended me. I'm thinking that it was our political views. I don't know if it was when Trump was first elected. But I'm not going to get into politics. It's just I know that she and I had differing views on a lot of things, from politics to religion, mostly religion, and she for whatever reason. All right, again, wrong layer. There we go. All right. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know what it was. She never explained it. She never talked to me, and then she just kind of bowed out. Okay, the ears are the same. I keep forgetting the ears are the same color, so I got to do the same freaking thing here. Hang tight. All right. Keep thinking I need to do the ears a lighter color, but no. All right, it should be all right. And that's weird. This one has commercials. I don't know why. All right. Okay, so anyway, I don't know why I keep why I keep thinking the ears should be a different color. Let me see. Well, some people like to lurk. Yeah, some people just like to lurk, and hey, that's okay. That's fine. Politics and religion, that'll do it. Yeah, but she how did we play Uno at the same time? Uno never made enemies, because me and my family, we used to play Uno. My mom, my dad, my sister, and I, we used to play it all the time, and it never it didn't really cause any major problems. I love board games too, so I mean, and I do have some friends who are very, very peculiar about how they play the games, and it's gotten into some arguments too. But no, Uno is not one of those things. Thank God. Mm. Talk for as long as I have today. You don't realize how dry your throat gets. Okay, so back to the drawing here. So next step, and a couple of layers here, because one's going to be for shading, one's going to be for the stripes. And so the next thing I'm doing is the stripes. Ooh. Didn't realize there was another version of that song. I always hear one particular version of that song. You've been listening to a lot of city pop for a long time. That when you start recognizing some of the songs, there's some that they play a lot more often than others. Yeah. Yeah, if you like Japanese music, I highly recommend you listen to city pop. It is amazing. It's sort of the ultimate relaxation music. And it just also kind of makes me sad that how my country kind of has a bit of a cultural myopia, and especially back in the '80s, we acted like if it didn't happen in America, it didn't matter, or if it didn't involve Americans, it didn't matter. Oh, I just realized I screwed up on something. A little line right there. I'll get that in a moment, though. It's not gonna hurt anything. Let me see. And legs on. Stripes on the legs, and stripes on the tail. Ugh. I don't know what's up with the sound on that one. That one's just got some really nasty it sounds like muffled or something like that. Okay, anyway, let me see here. All right, so are the humans in this universe nearly wiped out or just a lost colony? No, they're actually descendants of lost colony ships. They're not nearly wiped out at all. No, the Imperium War did a number on their numbers, but in the end of the day, they survived for the greater part. Now, the Felian Empire kind of backed off with how close they were to humans, at least when it came to sharing their technology, because they found just how reckless we can be. Let me see here. I think that goes down to 80. No, wait, 90 if memory serves. And, I'm adjusting the transparency right here. So it's going to be, because I'm going to be using black, but it's not going to be solid black. You'll see. You have to adjust the thickness here to 20. All right. So yeah, the humans are not almost extinct at all. No. No, the Imperium Wars didn't do things that badly for them, thankfully. But it did do a number on them, number wise and just technology wise. As a matter of fact, they kind of got busted down to a prior era technologically, not to the point where they didn't have space travel or anything like that, but a lot of their technologies that they took for granted before that time were lost, and of course it rendered the environments of some of their planets almost inhospitable. One particular planet, Zinj, was so badly damaged that they had to depend on the Felians to give them life support systems, but they pretty much locked out the life support systems for humans to tamper with. And they had like encoding on their technology that humans could never crack. And but Zinj survived more or less, and that was the old capital of the first Imperium. It used to be a beautiful world, and then got turned into a blasted wasteland, similar to Seleucus Secundus in the Dune books, if you've ever read them. Let me see here. Let me go back to the main layer because I found a couple little things that I forgot here, and I'll fix these up right quick. Oh, and I forgot to take that on me. Let me fix that. Hang on. And, dang it. Okay, and let's do this. All right, that should work. Matter of fact, let me do this. I'm going to add black there and a little black here. Because now we that's where that line is. Okay, that should work. A little quick fix. And oh, you thought you'd get away from me, you little lying you. No, you could not. All right. See, I like the idea of lost colonies and exploring how the effects of how that affects two of those factions. Yeah, well, the Felian Empire came out all right. They pretty much just closed off their borders when the war happened and kind of hunkered down. Now there were itinerant Felian traders that probably got lost in the kind of caught up in the war, but for the most part, most of the Felians got back to Felian space as quickly as possible. So the war didn't have that much of an effect on them for the most part. I just realized I missed something here. Hang on. Let's see. Now, the space pirates prospered from the war. They I like this song. But anyway, yeah, they prospered from the war. Salvaging ships and whatnot. They managed to keep a lot of their technology, and so they kind of actually became one of the more advanced factions. It was because of them that humanity managed to survive for the most part. They pillaged some ships, but also they managed to give some technology to other humans, and so the recovery was possible. Okay, so we got all the stripes done. Now to do the shadowing. That's gonna go to my normal. I always put shadowing up to when I have to do the layer above. I put up to 77 in transparency, and you'll see why in a bit. Just gonna mark off those areas. All right. I like doing our Shosha, at least when it comes to shading, because she's actually a little bit easier than a normal human, because I only have to do one layer of shading for her rather than two, because of skin. The fur will only the fur has a much starker shading than skin does, so I have to do a whole bunch of reflection marks and whatnot. It's just one and the other. I mean, I used to do that for humans. I just started doing it, differently, because I wanted to give it a little bit more depth, and when it came to their skin tones and how the light affected it. So. Mm-hmm. All that down there will be darker. Okay, I think I got everything. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, hang on. Back it up. There we go. All right. And now let's go ahead and blur the stripes. Oh, wrong Gaussian blur. We have an older Gaussian blur and a newer Gaussian blur on this program. Let's see. I think the stripes should work that way. You just need a 10 blur. All right, and blur the shadows, not brightness, blur. All right, and there we go. That was easy. Okay, so the what the war was about? Okay, the Imperium War. What happened was when the humans first settled in that area, that over time, their governments just sort of kind of united together into a major empire, which is just simply called the Imperium. But over time, that empire fell into just internal fighting, and it hang on. Into a series of wars that just got worse and worse and worse, and ended up with a lot of these worlds using their own basically super weapons, biological weapons, nuclear weapons, that kind of stuff that destroyed several worlds. But most part, all the worlds that survived were either only had marginal damage or were damaged in a way that did affect them pretty badly. So in the end of the day, it was just a lot of things were changed. Like the planet Saburna. If you go on our DeviantArt page, I have a map, and the interior of Saburna it's kind of like Australia, how like you have all the areas that are close to the shore are verdant and green, but in the interior, the entire interior of Australia is like a big desert. They have called the outback. So that's kind of like how Saburna is, just on the scale of a planet. The areas that are closer to water are the well-watered areas, all have are all verdant and green, but most of the interior of the planet is desert and or wasteland. A lot of buildings and what like that, and old cities and remains of old cities are around there, are irradiated and whatnot. So they use those areas as they still have good mining opportunities out there. So those people who live in those regions are really hardy, but they what you call for the most part they kind of use the remnants of the old cities to for gestalt battles. So yeah, but fortunately, Saburna was one of the planets that actually fared much better than most others. And of course, they also do have certain types of creatures in those worlds that are mutations from the ones that where they used nuclear wars. Some planets had an entire cultural shift because of the wars and their effects. Jakarta's Pride, for instance, was once a world that was ruled by a hyper patriarchal system that treated women basically like cattle and breeding stock. And then when the war happened, tons of nuclear weapons and biological weapons, especially, were used on that planet, which basically wiped certain types of diseases, wiped out all males on that planet. And it mutated the genetics of the females of that planet, so they weren't even able to reproduce using males. So you have a planet with an all-female population that had to find other means to reproduce. Fortunately for them, their knowledge of genetic engineering was second to none, so they managed to find a whole bunch of alternate means to reproduce. And that became the basis of the technology that was used to make the tanks, which are the backbone of the second Imperium's militia. All basically composite clones. Well, not so much clones. They're basically made from DNA chains mixed together artificially and to create artificial people. We kind of borrowed that idea from the tanks in Space Above and Beyond. If you've ever watched that series, it's an old series that came on Fox back in the 90s. Okay, let me go ahead and flatten this. And now we're going to work on the hair. Look at they didn't have any commercials. I'm pissed about that. But yeah, so you can see that some of the details about the war, and what happened there. Hope that answers your question. I know it's been a long way around it. Let me see here. I got to be careful when doing those highlights, those tiny little areas, because I can always move in. I just don't like zeroing in and zeroing back out. Again, speaking of zeroing in, I got to zero in right here because there's some areas that I need to straighten out right quick. Let me do that. I don't like those little dots that are left over from tiny areas that I might have missed. But no art program is perfect. Okay, so moving on. All right, I think I got everything for the hair. Let me go ahead and my paint dropper. Grab that. All right. God, that paint dropper is a lifesaver. One thing I noticed, if you ever go and look at a lot of people's like character designs, on DeviantArt, they have these little dots that show like, okay, this is their skin, hair, eyes, that kind of thing. And I look at that and I'm just, I just get an older picture of them and just use that the paint dropper and use that color, and that way I won't have any problems with changing the colors around. They just use the colors. Oops, use the colors that I use in the old things. Okay, so. All right, let's see here. Space Age Apocalypse, yeah. So something, pretty much something like that. I mean, right now the way that things are positioned at the beginning of Wild Space Saga is that people worry that there's going to be another Imperium war around the corner. because of the Second Imperium. They're basically an expansionist empire. They're trying to annex other worlds. They already had annexed other sovereign worlds that were part of the alliance. One's already being disputed and is in a state of constant war, and that's Tintagel 9. And Mandela 1 was annexed, and that was Neela's homeworld. Neela is Xerxes' wife. And Neela and Mabala, they both came from Mandela 1. Oh man, hang tight. Let me I'll fix that in a bit. I'll just have to. Whoops. That's one of the quirks of this program. You go too far down, and it tries to auto scroll, but it auto scrolls really fast. Okay. So I was saying is that Mandela 1 is Neela and Mabala's homeworld. Did it again. Dang it. Yeah, and the Second Imperium annexed them. They don't know there's a fifth column on that world working against the Second Imperium. In the same way that it's not so much a fifth column on Tintagel 9. Tintagel 9 just has a strong militia, and they weren't taken by surprise. So they're fighting for their independence, with the alliance, of course, helping them. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. Brightness. Oh. Say it again, people. Wrong layer. All right, let's try this again. Brightness. And that is going to be back down to 35. Okay. And now to fix this problem. That was supposed to be part of her hair. There we go. Okay. I have a character named Tech Jack, basically space cowboy of a failed rebellion. It's like Firefly, but more advanced. That sounds pretty interesting. Yeah, it does. It does give you those Mal vibes a little bit, So, but as long as you're not trying to make him too much like Mal. Like Mal was really bitter, man who was very religious, and because his side lost that war, and because his side chose to surrender when they thought that they could beat the alliance, and he lost his faith in God, and so Mal just has a lot of personal issues. Man, it's a shame that show was canceled when it was. Freaking Fox. Fox and NBC have always had an itchy trigger finger when it comes to their sci-fi shows. And they've had some really good ones. There was a show I was watching back in 2011 that had so much promise. It was called Terra Nova. And it was basically sort of like I'm not going to say Swiss Family Robinson. It was about this family, and it takes place like in a future where Earth is like horribly polluted. Add a little bit of link on that one. Okay. And human race is dying out, and they have to control how many people are born and whatnot. And they had like more than the limit of 2 children per household. And if they hadn't done it, if they hadn't hidden the girl from the authorities, she would have been aborted. And so what happens? They found a crack in time that led to prehistoric Earth, the dinosaur times, as a matter of fact. And so they started doing experiments, found out that nothing they did in that particular era had any effect on the future. And so they started sending people there to colonize that ancient Earth. And 1 second, trying to concentrate on this. 35. Okay, so they were sending people to a lottery to colonize that ancient Earth, and because there's no way back, the door only swung one way, and so they managed to get to get that ticket and sneak their child, to that world where the authorities on the other side didn't have any, didn't have any power over them, and still established a new life in that new prehistoric world. Really cool story. Had like some interesting dinosaurs and whatnot. Hang on a second. There we go. But I think one of the problems with the show is that they were kind of afraid to really do a lot with the dinosaurs, and it kind of suffered because of it. Also, the plot of the series was a little bit on the weak side, but it got a whole lot better in the last, like, I want to say 5 or 6 episodes of the series of that season. And so they only had one season, unfortunately. But by that time, a lot of the viewership had dropped off. All right, let me see here. 30. Let's go up to 40. All right, there you go. All right. That's much better. Let's see. Yeah, they can make it again. They love losing money. Yeah, but they NBC and Fox had so many sci-fi series that they just did not treat well at all, and that's just a shame, you know. Oh, another one of my favorite songs. Okay, so let me see. I think we got the hair down right. Now it's time for the coat. Flatten. 56709. 56709. Oops. Alright. List of spot. Sure, I've got everything. Oh, and this. All right. And let's start on that. Let's see. You know this song? Yeah. Junko Ohashi telephone number. Yeah. The treasure trove of songs I found when I started getting into city pop. Okay, so we got the stuff done for the coat. Now to get started. Layer and bam. All right. Now for the shading. I love how the pirates kind of have this. Some of them, at least, have this real anachronistic look, kind of harkening back to the more romanticized elements of piracy back in the day. So many of them do kind of do that whole coat thing and having a saber and some of them design their guns to look like flintlocks, even though they're modern mag pistols that still shoot miniature bullets out of a miniaturized rail gun. So let's see. Oh, missed a tiny spot. Let's see. All right, hang on that. Oops, hang on. Fix that. Let me check something out right quick. Okay. So we're doing all right. Oh, and I did totally forget the inside. Oh, dumb. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and darken that. All right, now go ahead and fix the things I forgot. Okay. This dude's just flipping through his songs really fast. This guy doesn't exactly do the best job with that. I just realized instead of YouTube, I can just go ahead and use off play like the playlist off of Spotify or something next time. Yeah, that way I'm probably in less danger of getting in trouble. No. Stay with me. Wrong layer. And let me see here. And I'm really trying to do the blur. All right. Okay, yeah, that should work. The 40 right here will work just fine, I do believe. Okay, and start doing that yellow band. Hang on. Okay. See, it's all about aura and drip. It's too late. Imperium, you may have better armor, but we have more aura. Well, don't know. No, I don't think it's the. Whoa, sorry about that. Y'all heard any kind of weird noises? Me hitting the stupid thing because my hands don't know where the limits of that thing are. Anyway, it's not so much about aura. It's just the fact that the second Imperium. It's a lot of luck and a lot of finding out some secrets that get both sides to have a leg up against a common enemy. To say the very least. As the stories progress, you'll understand. I don't want to give away the entire plot. I mean, yeah. I guess you could say that they do the whole aura farming a little bit, but it's not. They don't kind of work it like that. They don't want to make it too much of an anime. You know what I mean? All right, let me see here. Okay, yellow. Most of the yellow I can just highlight right here. We don't have to worry about doing any shading on that. At least nothing major. Okay, and so and also the gloves. There we go. I just got to do the buttons. Okay, now those definitely have to be. Go ahead and use the. I need to save this before I end up having something happen because I've had this program completely shut down on me before. Let me see here. Let me save as. Okay, 70 PDN. Okay, yeah. So the PDN file right here is just it maintains the layers since it's a paint.net file, and then that way if something happens to this thing, it'll at least come back and I can have all the layers intact and whatnot. Oh, wait, hang on. Not good. Then we'll do this. A little bit of a little reflection there. I gotta make it really bright. And all right, there we go. Now they look almost golden. All right. Oh, I totally forgot about the pirate flag. Okay, that won't be a problem with me. Ah, accidentally. Okay, there we are. All right. Let me see here. Gotta get that gray.
With Venmo, treating a friend is just the beginning.
Freaking commercials. Okay. Oh, I forgot. I need to flatten it. I'm kind of rushing because there's just a lot to work on. Okay, give me a moment, guys. I got to go to the DeviantArt page and grab hold on. Bro, my favorite trans streamer twin. No cat. Keep doing. All right. Now let me see here. Trans like Transformers. No sound wave. No, I'm not a Transformer streamer, but let me see here. Oh yeah, I gotta go to DeviantArt. Give me just a second, guys. Gotta pull up the pirate flag because I always have to use the pirate flag insignia for her for her sleeve. No. Let's see. Where is it? Okay, so let's see here. All right, so just gotta reverse the colors. Actually, all right. I have to add an extra layer above that one, and then we just take the pirate flag, have to make it small. And turn it this way a little bit. Make it a little bigger. All right, and there we go. All right, and let me add the shading here. Give me a second. Brightness. And go ahead and blur it. Yeah, 30 should work just fine. All right. What else do I need to do? Of course, I need to do her clothes. Oh, forgot to add the yellow right here. Like that, and right there. Okay, and now we go ahead and do the. Let me go ahead and do the gloves right quick. That's only going to take a moment. I can just let's see here. Check something out right quick. Okay, so yeah, I just need to do the. Let me flatten that. Okay, we're going to be turning the transparency back down to 77. Bring that to black and doing this. I think that song almost sounds like a Hall & Oates song. In the beginning, I mean. Okay, now just turn to Donna Summer. All right, and so do that. All right, and go ahead and flatten. And go ahead and get the inner workings done. See something. I love Transformers and the ideas of them sentient beings with souls, but are a machine, and they have a dying ecumenopolis. A shame they never got into the Quintessons and the other ones in space. They actually did. Memory serves. The seasons after the seasons that came out after the Transformers the movie, they had the Quintessons. As a matter of fact, it was the Quintessons that were responsible for bringing Optimus back to life. And those seasons never aired where I lived. I didn't learn about it until late. Well, actually, I learned about them because I had a friend who had satellite, and he was the only one who could catch them because he caught stations like WGN, which was called Chicago, and they played Transformers after that, after the seasons, after the what you call the death of Optimus, the movie. And because like where I lived, Transformers got switched out for Thundercats. I was massively pissed at first, but then I fell in love with Thundercats. So I didn't watch many episodes of the newer seasons of Transformers. That was the ones that had Galvatron. And the problem with Galvatron was that he was like psychopathic, and like Megatron wasn't psychopathic. Megatron was megalomaniacal, yes, but not a psychopath. Galvatron acted like he had no brain, and no brain, no patience, that kind of stuff. So also they did go for plot threads that were really interesting. I mean, admittedly. Like Starscream coming back as a ghost, that kind of stuff. So that was kind of interesting there. All right, so I'm go ahead and take care of this. One of the trick thing is just remembering where the shadows go. See, I think that's all of it. Yeah, it should be fine. Let me do this. And then have reflection marks. Actually, I think it should be the other way around. There we go. Yeah, I need to stop doing that right by the mic. That probably might sound kind of painful to some of y'all out there. Me whistling. All right. Let's see, brightness. All right, now for blurring. All right, that's much better. All right, I forgot to add a tiny bit of yellow right here. Let me do that right quick. Let me fix some of this black too. There's a lot of those little white dots here and there. It's driving me nuts. Okay. All right. And let's get the belt and last bit of the shoes. Let me see. Brightness. Dang it. I should have. Oh, I can do that later. It's no problem. Okay, let me see. All right, no problem, man. Yeah, have a good night. We'll be taking off probably after 2 hours done anyway. Thanks for joining me for the time you were with me. Let's see. All right, so I'm a little bit quiet, people. So just in case there's anybody else coming on, I'll be checking back periodically. But I'm thinking by the time we hit the 2 hour mark, I'll go ahead and bow out for the night, at least on this. Let me see here. What was I about to do next? Oh yeah, the belt. So let me go ahead and do that. And with that, a little bit of gray, and let's go ahead and start doing these colors. And oops, there we go. I just realized I am a dum-dum. Hang on. Have to let me undo the there we go. Yeah, just realized I have to put that back to white. Because that's that's supposed to be part of the belt, not her not the leotard thing she's wearing. Okay, so let's do this again. Right there. All right. Now. All right, that's better. The 20. And I gotta fix one little bit here. Forgot to highlight that. There we go. Those are little things. Always little things. Oof. Okay. So I'm gonna do this. I can't say how these things constantly going to commercial. I just need to remember to use Spotify next time. All right. Okay, I think that's good. Do a little blur. Yeah, all right. And the belt buckle. Sometimes it can be a bit of a pain getting all the work done here and just having to go through the process over and over again. And maybe it's just because I'm feeling a little tired right now because I pause, talk to people. Speaking of pausing and talking to people, all right, there's nobody on right now, but yeah, I pause and talk to people, pause and talk to people, and have to get back to the groove. And when I'm doing this on my own, it's just do this, do this, do this. It just becomes an order to things. It's almost zen like, and so right now I'm trying to get back into that groove, and it can be a teensy bit difficult. All right, let's see, brightness. 40 and then do that a little bit. Okay. And then all right. All right. And now do some blurs here. All right, that should work. Flatten everything. We'll go ahead and save that. And I think all we got to do next that's left is I don't think I have her legs or her boots here, so I'm going to have to grab another picture of her. It won't be too much of a problem. Just go to DeviantArt again. Okay, our Shosha. All right. All right. And oh, that's the other drawing. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Let me there we go. I totally forgot to do the in our chest. Okay, well, I keep forgetting. Like when my fellow characters, they have like a brighter hair on their chests, and I completely forgot about that. Well, that's no use crying over spilled milk. So let's just go ahead and get this done. And all right. I'll go ahead and do some more vinyl here. Of course. All right. And yeah, that sounds like a whale song. Okay, yeah. So there are some shading lines. All right. Get a little tired, people. That's all. Okay. Brightness. Gaussian blur. 2. All right. All right, I think all I got to do now is her eyes and how much time we've been online. Yeah, it's going to be time for me to blow out. So I want to go ahead and try to finish doing our shosha here. I can do the background at a later point. And do her eyes. All right, image, flatten. Go ahead and save that. Okay, so just do the usual. And layer. Whoops. Okay. I have to add a layer above and a layer below for this because now I got to just do the reflection pieces. I don't think I did that the last time I did this. All right, just copy, paste. Excuse me, people. I know y'all heard me burp. I did not mean to do that so close to the microphone. Yeah. All right, so some Gaussian blur again. I want to do it up to 10. Repeat that Gaussian blur, and we got the blur for the green in the eyes. And we should be fine here. All right, now just to fill in all that black, and all the little messy, crusty looking white dots. Check the tail out. Yep, got some crusty looking white dots here. Oh, okay. I think that should be done. So we managed to get a lot done tonight. Got a good old Arshosha finished. So it's not hard to draw. It's just our colors just very complex because she has a lot of colors to her to her look. And I forgot the tail. Let me see. And we also, of course, did Cami right here. So adding all that stuff up later. And let me see here. Let me go ahead and save this. All right. Still gotta work on the still gotta work on the beds right there and also the background. I got some plans for that. No problem. Okay. Let me see here. Where are we? Oh yeah. Wrong spot. Okay. No, we are good. Yeah, so we're getting close to the 2 hour mark, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna go ahead and call it a night here. We'll try to do this a little bit more often than I have been, and it's not just gonna be stuff for the comic books because yeah, that's a lot of work. We need to do something a bit simpler, so it doesn't require as many moving parts as per se. But for those of y'all who check this out after the fact, thank you for doing that. We ask you comment, rate, subscribe down below, and for those of you guys who came in, big thanks to you. Gave me something to talk about, on the stream instead of just running my mouth into the ether. Tomorrow, well, actually later today, we are going to be doing our, of course, weekly live stream at 3 p.m. Central Time. We ask that you join us. If you followed us through this whole thing, maybe just have something on in the background. And so, just come on, join us. We have a great time. You can ask questions in the Terry and I are going to be talking, and we also hopefully will have a special guest. I'm not 100% sure if he's going to be coming in, but I hope he is. I gave him the information and all things he's going to need, and if not, I'll still be able to put together some things to talk about because we got our new books coming out. And if you're interested in checking out our new books, what I ask is you go to our YouTube page, that is Wild Space Saga, and you check out in our live section the live streams. We have all the information you're going to need to look at the books, to look at all that we got. If you want to see more of our artwork, just go to our DeviantArt page. That's the same thing, Wild Space Saga. You go to DeviantArt, look us up, and we will warn you some of the stuff we have is not safe for work. And so if you want to have your what you call mature filter up, you understand. If you lost my train of thought there. If you want to check out our books, you can find them. Like I said, we have information in the doobly-doo in our live stream, in our main live stream areas. You can go on X, follow us at Wild Space Saga. Again, now we also have an Instagram. We have Instagram feed, which is Wild Space Saga, but spelled SPAICE, because we do use some AI art to do just fun things. It's not something that we're trying to pass off as our own. It's just some stuff that shows our characters in a bit more realistic light, a bit more professional look, and thought it was a lot of fun. Also, we do use some AI for like advertisements and whatnot. We did one that we did like a very brief narration from one of our books. It was really big fun, and so it was a little complicated to put together, but I think it turned out nicely. Anyway, like I said, guys, thanks again for watching. We hope you'll join us for the live streams. If not this Saturday, then every Saturday. We have them, like I said, at 3 p.m. Central Time, and that is 9 p.m. For our friends across the pond at GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. We hope you'll join us there. And so until then, this is Brandon Hill, one half of Wild Space Saga, telling you to keep following Northwest Passage and stay lucky out there and stay blessed. Take care.